A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi, and I'm always glad to bring you up to date with comprehensive analysis of all that is taking place in this country and across the borders, only on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. Definitely, I'm talking about the Candy Talk. I'm here with Wakili Willis Otieno. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
The Gen Z factor is back in play, and of course, a number of things are being said here. One of the grounds for which these members of parliament want the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua out is perhaps his kind of alleged support, or rather role in the Gen Z protest back then. Of course, a few of his allies have also we've seen the charge against them being proposed by the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions and all that. And he's here at the center of this. It so appears that perhaps the Deputy President is being accused of supporting the Gen Zs. Would it be true that he indeed supported them? And in these recent political developments, he may be on their side and perhaps maybe gain their political support.
When Gen Z were demonstrating, they went out across the country, informed by a desire for a better Kenya. They were responding to the failed economic policies of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. There is no day Rigathi Gachagua has ever voiced his displeasure with William Ruto's economic policy. He supported all of them. Gachagua was campaigning for the finance bill. Gachagua has cheerled William Ruto in every decision he has made. So when did he become a Gen Z leader or sponsor? And these Gen Zs were all over, including William Ruto's village. They are demonstrating. So they should stop trying to give Gachagua political leadership over the Gen Z movement. No. Gachagua was part of the cabinet that came up with the finance bill. And they said Pitisha Raka. When did he become the sponsor of Gen Z? I mean, let's be serious. No Kenya Kwanza is
I mean, let's just be fair to the Deputy President. Did he say Pitisha Raka, or these were the words of the President?
Yes, he was there cheering. Vile Rais amesema. Yeah, they were together in Meru. So why are you trying to say that he was not part of it? He was part of it. So let's be clear here. Gen Z was the people of Kenya coming out to reject the failed economic policies of Kenya Kwanza, led by William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. Gachagua has never spoken anywhere in public that is recorded opposing the finance bill. He's never spoken about corruption in the administration. He never spoke about the G2G. In fact, he hasn't received the first consignment of G2G oil. Gachagua has never spoken about education system in this country. He's never spoken about our collapsing health sector. He's never spoken about unemployment of our people. So when did he become the sponsor of Gen Z? He did not. But they're trying to look for a reason to try to undermine the Gen Z revolution. The revolution is still on. It's not over, and Gachagua is not the leader of that revolution. The people of Kenya singularly are leading that revolution in their own spaces. And they are simply saying, your policies that you're implementing are not in consonance with our wishes as a people. So we reject you. That is what is happening in this country. Gachagua has no capacity or capability to sponsor Gen Z, including in William Ruto's own village of Tarbo and Uasin Gishu, where there were massive demonstrations, including in Nyanza province, including in the coast, including in Nairobi. So he has no capacity. He can't. He was being rejected as well.
The fundamental issues that actually took the young people to the streets haven't been addressed so far. Do you then think that perhaps there could be some fear of another round of them being there on the streets and doing this, and that is why these people are so keen on ensuring that is because there are certain quarters who believe that these things are actually diversionary kind of tactics to maybe prevent the young people from getting back focused.
Of course, without a doubt, they are trying to undermine the coming wave. It will come.
Okay.
Revolutions come in waves. That was just the first wave. There will be a second wave, maybe even a third one. Because the fundamental issues that led people to the streets have not been addressed. It was not about Raila's people joining government. It was about broad-based government. It was about impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. It was about William Ruto must go. Finance bill reject, finance bill was just part of the symptom. But the ultimate is William Ruto must go because this failed in his economic policies. So, of course, the man is trying to get legitimacy. Bring Raila here, broad-based, impeach Gachagua, dissolve cabinet. All that in a quest to gain legitimacy. Has he gained legitimacy today? No. In fact, the public anger against the administration today is more than it was even before June. So, where do you think this anger will be released? Should we release another round of demonstrations? People demanding more. Because how many Kenyans have lost their lives in between? How many have been forcefully abducted? And yet the economic situation has not improved. So the conditions that led to the demonstrations, the revolution, they are still there. So it will come. And William Ruto will have nothing to say about it. You will just have to respect the wish and the will of the people of Kenya. The voice of the people is the voice of God. And the people have unanimously spoken in one accord to reject Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto, including all the acolytes plus Gachagua. Next even will be Kimani Ichung'wah will be impeached. Kenyans will be celebrating. They don't care about those things.
Talking about funding and, of course, the Gen Z revolution and how far the young people are right now, I wonder whether they're actually reorganizing themselves. But then we had the blame on the Deputy President, of course, Rigathi Gachagua, maybe trying to play a part in the same. We also had the name of the former president being weighed in there. We also had the name of your party leader, Jimmy Wanjigi. Then we also had the name of Ford Foundation also being brought on board. Recently, the president was in the US, and of course, he met the leader of that particular group therein. There are certain people who believe, including the deputy president, that the president is not being sincere because he is not actually telling us the truth here, and maybe just want him to use him as a scapegoat. I wonder what you make of the same and whether that should actually be a ground for this.
Of course, I believe that cannot be a ground of impeachment. If you are saying Gachagua funded it, bring tangible evidence. But it's far-fetched to claim that he funded it. He did not. They're just trying to use that as a basis to a ruse to get him out. But no one cares. This was an indictment of the regime by the people. The people have unanimously said, we reject. We don't want you. You have no solution to economic problems. In fact, you are part of the cause of our economic problems. Get out. So he's trying to deflect attention by impeaching Gachagua. You bring Kindiki, the one who has been CS superintending over the killing of over 60 Kenyans, forced abductions and disappearances. Even him will face the same fate. This thing will never end until the day Kenyans go back to the ballot. And I've told you, Kenyans took away their sovereignty from the elected representatives. They are walking with it in their pockets. Until that day, you'd ask them to return back that sovereignty. And that can only be done in an election. You will have the same kind of suckers. Keep recurring every day. And there's no ideology that brings together Kenya Kwanza, or even with parts of ODM that have joined the administration. They will all fail. And the Kenyan people will never buy in to the administration. They don't represent what we call the best interest of the people. And that's why they keep failing.
Talk to me about the position of the young people in all these, of course, with the view on the kind of change that we all want as a country, and you're talking about the total overhaul of the entire system.
Because the young people have already told you what they want. Then they want a political system that responds to their needs. Because political leadership is donated. You're exercising political power or leadership for and on behalf of the people who have donated to you. But the way they've been behaving so far, they're not doing it to the benefit of the donee. They're not acting for the benefit of the trustee. That is why the Kenyan people are not in that space. So the young people will keep fighting and agitating for a leadership that responds to their needs, that represents their desires, that gives them that there's hope for a better Kenya tomorrow. Not that is accumulating wealth at the expense of the people. That all we witness are failed systems. We're just witnessing a collapsing economy, dilapidated roads, health system that is not functional, an education system that does not have a front or a back. They don't want that. So the young people are still out there. This is a fight for liberation, just like Kenyans fought for political liberation in 1963. So even this is a fight for economic liberation. And we are going to liberate ourselves when we cut off the chains of oppression. The current holder of those chains is William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza. They must be cut out of our political and economic psyche. Then the Kenyan people will elect a leadership that understands what their quest is and their solution to address their challenges. Challenges that gives them economic empowerment, economic liberation, and strengthens them in their socio-economic fabric. So they're able to fully enjoy the life that God desired of them, a life full of dignity, and that they are able to make a living decently and live a life of dignity.
Okay.
That is where Kenyans are. So removing Gachagua will not address that problem. Because the system that Gachagua and Ruto are representing it is still there. So even bring Gitiki and put him there. He'll apply the same things. He will become a praise singer of William Ruto, just like Gachagua was. What did Gachagua do wrong anyway, if you ask me? Because at least for all his public appearances, he's been following Ruto everywhere and singing his praises. He's never spoken for the people of Kenya. So why should Kenyans say that because of his removal, our problems are resolved? No. The problems that have led us to this economic crisis will still be there until such a time that William Ruto and his Cabral are out of office and a new leadership is elected that represents and responds to the true wish of the people of Kenya.
Young people have decried hijacking of their movement back then by, of course, they blame the former PM Raila Odinga on doing so. But this same particular moment in time, of course, doing so by the entry of the broad-based kind of arrangement. This time round, there are certain of them who believes that by trying to associate themselves to him, the deputy president is maybe more or less trying to play the same template.
No. He's just trying to go back to where the Kenyan people are. But the Kenyan people know what he stands for. He's never voiced their issues. So you will not find accommodation.
He says he listens to the ground.
Yeah, but he's never voiced their issues. That's what I'm saying. He may have listened, but he's never voiced it. So he doesn't believe in it. And Kenyans are woke, I keep telling you. Kenyans are going to vote for leadership that responds to their needs, that has solutions to their problems. Not politicians looking for offices and seats for themselves. That is the Kenya of yore. The Kenya of tomorrow, the Kenya that we are now living in, is going to be a Kenya that empowers all Kenyans irrespective of their tribes, their religion, or age. That is the new Kenya that we are looking towards.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and Wakili is saying here that we are in a new political dispensation, and definitely a different template for that. The young people being very central and integral at this particular moment. Let's see which side actually will sway the young people to the direction. Allow me to stop this conversation at this particular moment. But of course, if at all you're watching us for the first time, subscribe to our channel here. Stay tuned to some of our programs that will be coming up next. We are here with Jadiel Kabiro, Richard Mwenja, as well as Professor Herman Manyora. All these are part of this family. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.